So part of my project is looking at restoration techniques of kelp forests on exposed coastlines. So exposed coastlines are particularly open to wave energy, storm action, and can be harder to restore habitats there because of those complications. So I'm looking at whether we can grow kelp forests and relating it to different structures. So here I've got 2 concrete tiles. So these are just made out of concrete mixture that you'd find every day. We've got one that's based off a seawall, so it's relatively flat, and then we've got one based off a natural bedrock. So you can see it's got various like holes and crevices, and this is meant to open up more complexity for life, for biodiversity, but might be deemed as more of an appropriate habitat for kelp to grow on. There's more for it sort of almost to stick onto. So these are made out of concrete, as I said, but these are the molds that I use. These are the silicone molds that I would have wood around, and then just pour the concrete in, and then it would set. And I would have metal dowels, metal poles in these gaps to leave holes for when I drill them and place them on the shore later on. So after I've made them, set them, and let them cure, settle in seawater for a while to harden, the next step is seeding them with kelp. So I would have cultured kelp that I'd have in the lab, and then I would use a spray bottle, and I would spray them onto the concrete. So they'd just be looking like this, and I would spray what kind of looks like loads of little dots all over, and then 2 months later it should look like this, which is when I've got little kelp growing. And so like I said, these are 2 months old. You can actually see quite a variety of like ages and lengths, developments, I guess. I'm going to put them on exposed coastline in the northeast, in various locations to look at suitability, how big they'll grow. So hopefully they'll get to adulthood and they'll grow much bigger. They'll probably thin out. As you can see, there's quite a few of them on there. And when they grow, they can have holdfast as that big. So there's only so many you could fit on this tile. Whether they'll get to adulthood or not, I think part of the restoration is whether they can reproduce. That benefits the nearby habitat. They could actually seed other places. So yeah, they can be a couple of meters long, hopefully at some point. And part of what I'll do when I actually put them out on the shore is I take various measurements once a month. So I'll take count. So I'll use this little quadrat because counting all of these will take quite a while. So I use a quadrat that I'll put in a random place on the tile. I'll take an image of where it sits on that tile so I can look at sort of the complexity of the area I'm counting and use a little pin to count them all. And then other measurements I'll take length measurements as well. So I'll be measuring the total length and then also the stipe length, so like the trunk length of them. So thinking about Jack's project and how it links with mine, comparing them would be really good. Do we get similar measurements? Obviously his is scaled down in a tank. Do I get similar measurements on the shore? And they'll benefit each other and link into each other.